the act itself, okay, we felt over the top and excessive. The conduct, detrimental. Some of the things that went on after the incident, and then also the repeat offender. We think in totality, you take all three of those things, and that's where you end up landing with a suspension.
You know, we've been here before, and we got to play a game tomorrow night. Once these decisions are made, there's no appellate court. It's over. So you can react however you want to react, but it doesn't change the fact he's not playing, and we got a game tomorrow night.
Stephen A.
Yeah.
Does that sound from Dumars or Myers change the way you feel about it?
Not at all. I was disgusted yesterday. I'm even more disgusted now.
Why?
And in the interest of full disclosure, I go back decades with the great Joe Dumars. I go back many years with Commissioner Adam Silver. I love them both. Talk to them as often as I possibly can. Mad respect, love, and adulation for all of them. Just not today. Today, as in yesterday, I was disgusted by this decision. I'm sick and tired, Wendy and Jay, of folks walking around acting like the playoffs are just another game. It's not just another game.
Right.
It's not just another game. It matters. You got people out here. I understand they're going to make their money. It's well-deserved. The league, the iconic brand that it is, the iconic global brand that it is well-deserved. You got a new collective bargaining agreement. But what was the thing you were concerned about? The fans. It was about player availability. Now, obviously, this is not that. I mean, for the same reasons, but it still comes down to the same thing. The fan is being deprived. What really, really happened? Did Sabonis not instigate it? Did he not grab Draymond Green's ankle? That is a fact. It happened. Did anybody say that Draymond didn't deserve to be ejected? No, not even the Warriors. Everyone knows he deserved to be ejected from the game. But when you see Damian Lillard and others complaining over social media about the suspension, they're absolutely right. Because considering the climate, considering the fervor, the fans, they're 90 minutes apart. You know how rabid it was going to be. And Damian Woody came in during a commercial break yesterday and pointed out Draymond whooping it up with the crowd and stuff like that probably factored in to the equation as well. To me, that's utterly ridiculous, too. They're the enemy, and you're talking smack to them. That's all. That's all you're doing. This is intense. It's been a little physical. J.J. Redick highlighted how the officials had let numerous calls, let him go, that took place with Sabonis already in the series, tripping, hitting people in the back, grabbing their legs. And this time, in this occasion, he grabbed Draymond's ankle. The NBA knows all of this. And I pointed this out yesterday. And again, love Joe Dumars. That's my brother. I love him to death. It was just a bit ironic to hear that explanation coming from a former bad boy Detroit Pistons. It was just a bit ironic to see that happen. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe that statement came there. I'm like, come on, y'all. The only point that I want to make more than anything like this, if this were the regular season, I'm not sweating it. But nothing is very little that grates me more than a fan come playoff time. Oh, the letter of the law, or the rule, and be consistent. Hell no. The playoffs matter. It's different. Do you understand that if the Golden State Warriors bow out in this series, they lose tonight, series over. Lose tonight, series over. In 5 at the most, okay? You understand that an organization like the Golden State Warriors can end up losing about $100 million? You understand that the players get a portion of those dollars? And that's compromising their pockets as well. If the series ain't going long, if they're not extending themselves deep into the postseason, these things can be compromised. But I'm not even going there. I'm simply saying, yo, fellas, it's the playoffs. You got to have a bigger reason than that to suspend a man for the next game.
Let me kick this thing off by saying something that's different first. I actually want to applaud the Sacramento Kings, Stephen A.
Okay.
And DeMontis Sabonis.
Right.
On gamesmanship.
Okay.
Well done.
Right.
Well done by Sabonis to sell it, to make you believe that there actually is a contusion on the chest. Because, by the way, the following play, he dunked the ball.
That's right.
He dunked the ball the following play, Wendy. Right, but now we're wondering if he's questionable for Game 3. And the X-ray that they got, that Woj reported, well done by Sacramento. I'll give you all the credit in the world. I want to actually break down one thing that Joe Dumars talked about. And Wendy, I know that your point about him working for the Kings, I'm going to allow you to get into that because that's another conspiracy thing that people are going to run away with, and it's a valid point. The second act, though, Stephen A., the act of conduct detrimental to the league. That's what we're doing, or that's how we're building a narrative around players that are talking trash back to fans. That's conduct detrimental to the league. Like, is that supposed to make me think that that is somewhat similar to Malice in the Palace? Like, that was conduct detrimental to the league.
Right.
So how are we scaling what that conduct really is? And I get the history aspect of it, but I do wonder, even though I know that your reputation precedes you, lines like that stick out there. Mm-hmm. When does that stuff get expunged off your record to a degree? Like, we're always going back to 2016? Are we saying, like, and I know that he was tied for second in technical fouls, but, like, are we always going to go back to 2016 with the kick or Steven Adams as reference points to, well, there's a history there? If you actually watch the clip in slow-mo, the reason why Domantas Sabonis' body gets lifted off the ground, he's holding on to his foot that gets lifted off the ground. Now, I'm not condoning the stomp, but one bad reaction begets another bad reaction. I'm not making excuses for it. All I'm saying is the ejection, in my opinion, Wendy, was enough. That should have been it. Let the players decide this series, especially when we understand the history of how soft the NBA has been on suspensions around the league in general.
What does LeBron need to do about Brooks?
He need to bust his ass. That's what he need to do.
Say it again.
I said that start off the show saying that. I'm saying that again. Now, I'm not talking, I don't want Wendy getting a bit technical here. I'm not talking about LeBron James deviating from the game plan, what it takes to win. I understand that the priority is to win. I get that. Don't have your selfish motives usurping that of the team and the ultimate agenda. But as long as the ultimate agenda and the team is put first, there's nothing wrong with squeezing in a little selfishness to take those moments when available to you. The bus is living you know what. And let me say this. If Dillon Brooks, if you're listening, I'm not saying anything is wrong with what he's doing. I have no problem with what Dillon Brooks is doing. I love it. I mean, it makes the competition that more fervent. I love it. I'm more excited about it. Because it makes me want to see what LeBron James is going to do about that, because he has the ability to do it. Now, let's say, for example, Wendy, if Dillon Brooks, hypothetically, of course, let's say, for example, he said this about somebody like Russell Westbrook or somebody like that. Well, considering how much fire is in that dude's belly, but also how many times you question some of the decisions that he may make on the court, at least before he became a Clipper, because I think he's been great as a Clipper. The fact of the matter is that might give you cause to pause and say, wait a minute, don't go too far. We got to reel that in. We got to make sure we're aligned with what we need to do. This is LeBron James we're talking about, bro. This is LeBron James. And even though I absolutely love what Dillon Brooks is doing, because I love that kind of competition, what I love even more is the thought of what LeBron is going to do about it. Because in the game of basketball, not for an entire 48 minutes like that, but there are moments when you have an opportunity to showcase your skills against another, to sit up there mano a mano and be like, yo, let me remind you of who the hell I am. And I definitely think that LeBron James should do that on a few occasions. Game 3.
Wendy, I was listening to the Et Ceteras with Kevin Durant, and one of the things that always bothers KD is about the legacy thing, right? He's like, why does everything always come to legacy? And then I hear my man Stephen A. talk about moments like this. Now, I'm on record stating that I think LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I know Stephen A. disagrees. You may disagree or agree. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. But these are the type of moments that we all know as players or people who've been around players that you yearn for. This is basketball. Strip away NBA, college. This is just straight up basketball talk. We've all been in the gym where there's been that one person that all they do is wah, 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 wah. They're going to keep wanting, regardless of whether they win or lose games. So I know that we talked about this and say, don't fall for the trap. And I'm not saying, no, it's not a trap. It's an opportunity. This guy has a chance to awaken a giant. And we've seen the giant awaken himself before. And I'm not saying that needs to come through in a 50-point game, but it sure as hell can come through in a 38, 16, and 15 triple-double performance. It can come through in, oh, I'm going to guard you, and I'm going to lock you up. It can come through in his energy and his effort. The one thing that we questioned last night about the Lakers, more so than AD's performance, more so than D'Lo missing shots, more so than, LeBron James talking trash back to Dillon Brooks, is the effort from the Los Angeles Lakers, right? The effort coming from the 38-year-old guy or Anthony Davis who's been in the league. So my thing is that could be seen in the effort that LeBron James could put forth in Game 3 back at home by making a statement to Dillon Brooks that, yeah, I'm going to give it to you every which way you want it. Defensively, passing, rebounding, and scoring. Because I'm the complete package, and there's nothing you can do realistically in your little brain that you have, Dillon Brooks. I'm just talking from LeBron James. There's nothing you will be able to do to stop me because I'm the complete package. That's how LeBron James proves that he is everything that he knows he is on the court.
Guys, next fall, Dillon Brooks is going to come speak at Harvard Business School. And he's going to put clips from this show up on the screen to show to the students. Stephen A., when he wore those white glasses and that plaid coat with no shirt on, with that big chain, he wore it for you. The only thing is the next time he's going to ask our Tim McMahon, who shot the video, maybe to move over a little bit to get a better angle. Because this is a total play to try to get LeBron out of his game. And you guys are challenging LeBron to go with it. The way that the Grizzlies win this series, especially with John Morant compromised, is by LeBron shooting and Anthony Davis taking a smaller role. Last night, it was Anthony Davis, and Stephen A., you are right. When you say the reason LeBron took 9 more shots than AD was because LeBron realized the only way they were going to win that game is if he was going to take it over because it was a bad AD night. But the way that the Lakers lose this series is by letting LeBron try to go for 40 and not AD going for 40. The guy who should be going for 40 is AD. And it's going to be the game plan from now for the foreseeable future, because if the Lakers get out of this series, and it's still a big if to me, and they play the Kings especially, we'll see what happens. AD's got to kick butt in that series too. This is the Lakers are going to go as far as AD can take them. And Dillon Brooks knows that. And, I firmly believe that LeBron is too smart to get stuck in this, but I will say this. LeBron did start barking at him a little bit last night during the game. He did start going at him, and Dillon Brooks knows it. That's his game. Dillon Brooks can't win against LeBron head-to-head in talent. LeBron is vastly more talented than him. He's vastly bigger than him. He can only win if he plays this mind game, and he's playing it right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.